So as we have been discussing, that the Shruti always declares Jivatma and Paramatma are one and same. That Aikya Bodha. But it's not that easy to arrive at, not deriving at. You can derive, but arriving at. So deriving is very easy through the help of the Shastra, and of course little bit if you do mananam, of course you will derive at. But arriving at the point little difficult. Why? As we have been discussing in different occasions indifferently, that me as different level. When I say me as different level, for example, me as financially weak. So if I am financially weak, what will be the thought all the time in me? While eating time, will I think of finance or not? Anything I buy, will I think of or not? So that means the finance will be the priority and will occupy most of the space in my mind. Every now and then, I may think something other because of compulsion, because of situation demands, but in that, the thread will be what? The finance. Is it clear? Now, finance is one aspect, just I am trying to show. Name and fame. Sense of guilt, sense of heart. Now put together, that is called something called psychological me. Okay? Because the psychological me is a package. That's why psychology excels. So in that psychological me means me associating with different things and not able to clarify the relationship between me and the object of association leads to psychological conflict. Is it clear? Or shall I repeat once more? It's a very simple logic, okay? Me associating with different objects of, let us say, association or object of knowledge, while associating, if I am not able to clarify the relationship, the purpose between me and the object of relation or association, that leads to psychological conflict. And that is called psychological me. You understand? The conflict later on becomes me. Remember, when I say psychological me means what? It's nothing but the conflict is considered as me. You know this best example Puja Swamiji used to give. In fact, this example was given by Swami Chinmayananji differently. Interestingly, same example, but it was done differently. This is cat example, okay? So only we keep changing little bit here and there. So this person was having some conflict with reference to cat. Maybe the person had some soft corner for the cat, or childhood cat died, something must have happened with reference to cat. Now because the person is not able to deal with the cat, now somehow the thought of cat has come in him and says, look, I am a cat. So because the person is not able to resolve this relationship, could not resolve those days, now that conflict becomes part of the person. And once it becomes part of the person, finally it becomes the person. Can you see this point? That is how the development happens psychologically. So what happened, what didn't happen, that's not our point here. So the psychological me plays a big role arriving at in any point. Because it doesn't allow. Always it creates obstacle. Can you see this point? It never allows to see anything other than that me. Like same person, the cat fellow. Yes, I understood. After when the psychotherapist explained, hey look, this is what? Yes, I understood. Again came back, again the same problem. What happened? Because I know I am not a cat, I am clear. Then why are you not coming out? How do I know that the street dogs, that they know that I am not cat? Can you see this? How the level continues? Okay, suppose you want to stretch this example further. Okay, now don't worry. You come with me. Now street dog will not bark at you, but unfortunately street dog will bark. Do you know why? The more you scared at, the more they bark. That's another psychology. Okay, somehow you manage with the street dogs. Then finally you will say, look, how do I know that look, this rat is not running away from me? Me being cat, look, now rats are not running away from me. So that means I am a cat now. You can come across any logic, okay? However, coming to the point here. So this psychological me only have to be handled carefully, which we will see today after a few verses. And here, how to handle the psychological of me. The last we saw, neti neti. So, no iti, nedam nedam. It was being said, nedam nedam. No idam iti. Not neither this, neither that. That means whatever mind holds on to, whether it is a gross body or subtle body, anything mind says that look, this is me, sorry, you are not that. So in the process, you make the psychological me weaker. Can you see this point? Because whole process is to corner the psychological me. Because the moment we feed the psychological me, the more that fellow becomes stronger. And once that psychological me becomes stronger, it's not that easy to handle. That's why we can see for ourselves that every time, some way or other, we are caught up with our psychological aspect of one's own self. Sometimes the Shastra becomes another quote, another level of psychological aspect of me, which technically we use the word called Shastra Vasana. Then that is very subtle, very sharp, very strong. So while talking all these things, what we need to do? He says, look, you need to look at this Bhagatyaga Lakshana. You need to take the right thing in a right spirit. This is the English expression, okay? The right thing in the right spirit. Hopefully not that right spirit, okay? But the problem is, this right, you do not know whether it's right or wrong. Later on, like especially in India and Chennai is worse, okay? Because Chennai, this right, left, everybody talks, okay? This is what. This is my personal problem I have seen many times. All over India it is there, but in Chennai worse. You ask how to reach this one particular place. The fellow will not be knowing, but will pretend knows. Yeah. Okay, how to go? Straight by right, up from left, right. Because if you do not know Tamil, don't worry, okay? So you have to only understand left, right. Then in between say, right? Do you understand right? So that right is not right, okay? Understanding, do you understand? Is it right? And finally you only remember left, right, straight, nothing else. And I am not telling you jokes, few times I have been caught up. Yeah. Because what can you say? Yes. But in reality, the fellow might not be knowing. So, what I am trying to highlight here is this right, left, right. Same thing happens to all of us. So, what do we call as right at this moment seems to be not right next moment or after a few days or few years. Does it happen or not? And what we call is wrong, sometimes it does not remain wrong either. So that's why this right and wrong is a judgment. And this has to be clarified, taken care by the scripture, the teacher and teaching. Can you see this point? Because psychological of me, the psychological aspect of me will not allow me to understand what is really healthy or right for me at this moment. So that's why, keeping that, let us now go ahead few verses, okay? So keeping this background, I am just going to stretch few verses, nothing else to talk, nothing to talk. Okay, the one is the big one. Tatastutau lakshanaya sulaksho. तयोरखण्डीकरसत्त्व सिद्धये नालं जहत्या न तथा अजहत्या किन्तु भयार्थात्मिकैव भाव्यम्. Very good. So, tatah, therefore, what is to be done? So, this two lakshanaya. So, what is to be done? Sulakshayoho tayoho akhanda ekarasa siddhaye. So, when you try to see this implied meaning, you have to be extremely careful how to take it, because the purpose is what? Ekarasatva siddhaya, akhanda ekarasatva siddhaya. So absolute indivisible, ekarasatva siddhaya, establishing the identity, not separation of anything else. Now what is to be done? Okay, there are two methods. So one is, jahatya, giving up, or jahatya, not giving up. He says, no, anyone will not work. Jahat, ajahat lakshana, in between, okay? You need to take up one person and another person. Which we have seen in details in Panchadasi. Please refer. Because if I get into that mode, again I have to take at least, one class. So if If people want, then okay, we can go ahead, or else we'll see. Okay, remember that, try to rep for that. If not, don't worry, I'll come back. So here he says beautifully, now we don't have to accept either Jahatya Lakshana nor Ajahatya Lakshana. Jahat, Ajahat also is pictured. So neither completely rejecting nor completely retaining. So we have to be very careful. We have to take some person and give up some other person. So when we say, for example, the wave is ocean. This is the statement which is very easy to understand. The wave is ocean. So this is an equation. So how to derive it? Here we have to accept few person and reject few person. So what are the things to be rejected? Wave has got a name, a form. It is born in time, grows in time, again dies in time. Small, limited. So this is to be removed, given up. Also, ocean is very big. When it was created, I do not know. When it is going to dry up, that also I don't know. But it is very big. So the bigness of ocean to be rejected. The smallness of the wave also to be rejected. Now what is to be accepted? So what is the content of wave? The wave is made up of what? Water. So also the ocean is made up of what? Water. So the water is to be retained. The content is to be retained. Not that we are retaining everything, nor that we are rejecting everything. So if you reject everything, you will get into Sunyavada. Nothingness, the Buddhism. New Age. It's like, you spend money to buy onion and enjoy onion, okay? There are people without onion, they cannot eat, okay? So you earn money, you work hard a lot. So let us, have some onion. So you paid money and got the onion. Somebody has told you, look, onion means what? You have to keep removing. Now you keep removing one layer after another layer. Now, if you keep removing, is there anything called onion? Will you be able to find out anything called onion? Definitely this is good to understand mind. There is nothing called mind. This example is good. But if you try to do, removing everything, keep removing, that nothingness, what is that nothingness? Only negative. But here, neither we accept Jahat Lakshana or Ajahat Lakshana. Complete acceptance or rejectance, but Jahat Ajahat Lakshana. In short. Let us read the next. So he gives another beautiful example, which is Sadeva Dattoya Mitiha Chaikata Viruddha Dharma Samapasya Kathyate Yatha Tatha Tattvamasi Vakye Viruddha Dharma Anubhayatra Hitva. So we have this Devadatta. The Devadatta is like, the example goes like this. So when you were studying in your childhood, that too in your village. So you had a person called Devadatta. So that person was very lean and thin, small, maybe ugly looking. Now, in due course of time, everything has changed. Now you happens to see him. So you see, not you see him. So now in due course of time, you were talking, let us say, in Delhi. So in Delhi, when you are talking to one of your friends, you discover there is another person standing. Good looking, fat, well dressed, well behaved, everything is great, okay? But you have your own doubt because some similarity is there. So you feel like, no, as though you know that person. So, but you do not know what to do, how to go about it. Then you ask the person, your friend, other friend, hey, who is he? That person smiles. Hey, please answer, who is this person? Hey, please. You know that Devadatta, the village? Yes, he is Devadatta. Then what happens to you? Oh, then you know what you talk and what you don't talk. Let us not get into details. So, the Devadatta that belongs to that time, that place. Can you see this point? Devadatta belongs to 20 years back. There is a time. Also, that Devadatta was lean and thin, ugly looking, not proper behavior, and dress wise also was not good, not well dressed. Now when you look at this Devadatta, well behaved. Now place is different, time is different. So everything is different. But what happens? What you say? Sayam Devadatta. That Devadatta is this person. So what you do? You remove the place mechanically. You remove the time mechanically. Means you travel in time so fast. You remove this ugliness of him, the thinness. Now you are able to accept this Devadatta as that Devadatta. So that is the example is being here highlighted, nothing else. So Sa Devadatta Ayam Iti. So that Devadatta, Tatkala Visishta Devadatta. So that Devadatta becomes this. So here also, even though it appears as though there is a contradiction, God knows what's happening today, okay? So even though there seems to be some contradiction, so here there seems to be some delay, okay? This is the difference, okay? But in reality, there is no viruddha at all. So also with reference to you are that Tattvamasi. So how you arrive at the point? So you eliminate few portion and hold on to so few portion in the statement, and you are able to relate that Devadatta as this. So also Tattvamasi. Let us read the next. Salaksha chinmatrataya sadatmanah अखंड भावः परिचीयते बुद्धैः एवं महावाक्य सतेन कथ्यते ब्रह्मात्मनो रैक्यमखंड भावः Look, interestingly, the job of the scripture is what? Not to establish which is already established. So what is established? I am different from God, totality. Who does not know this? Even if the Murari, we have beautiful example. So Murari means the barber, okay? You know this story. Generally, the sadhus, the sannyasis, if they want to save the hairs, all the mundana, which is very good actually. This is not good actually. Maintaining is very tough. Keeping this beard and hair, all these things, you need a lot of things, which is really very bad. Sometimes I feel like, really get rid of everything. Appa. However, so every full moon day, so generally they remove, which is really nice. So, but there was a student who was studying under a teacher. And of course the teacher was teaching, look, Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi. So you are that. I am Brahman, all these factors. Somehow the student did not agree. He said, how is it possible? I think this teacher is bluffing, has no value. Nicely he escaped. Okay, because when you escape, what poor teacher can do? Nothing much can do. Try his best, finally give up, okay, forget. Then suddenly, after 12 years, this fellow arrived. And of course, teacher has completely forgotten. Then he comes and says, look, I am so and so. Do you remember I was studying under you? Okay, good. I have come back. I went, what did you do 12 years? Because teacher is out of curiosity asked, what did you do? I studied Tarka, Nyaya, Jyotisham, all scriptures. This schools of philosophy, that schools of philosophy, everywhere I am really strong. Okay. Now I can prove that I am different from God. But you have been teaching always that I am God. Now I have all logics. Let us have discussion. Teacher smiled. Yes. So you did all these things? Yes. How long? All these years. Good, very good. No, there is nothing called good. Let us come and have a discussion. I want to. He said, look, you have come after so long. Last few months I didn't cut my hair, beard, nothing. Okay? You know how ugly I am looking now. You know our old Murari? Yes. Go and call him. Do this seva first, then after that. Call that person. Let him remove the hair, beard. Then after that I'll take shower and have. Then of course we'll have discussion. Absolutely no problem. So this old student is no more student, but let us say with argument-oriented, proving attitude, he went and come. That Murari also could recognize, hey, you have come, how are you? Don't disrespect me, I am somebody different, okay? Okay. Finally Murari came. So Murari started removing, putting the razor and removed hair. And Murari was having a small broken mirror, okay? So after everything he showed the mirror, look, Swami, can you see, are you okay now, is it okay? So the moment this teacher saw this, his own face, looked so glowing, because after a few months when you remove your beard and everything, automatically glow comes, okay, by default. So slow going, wow, Murari, you are great, you are God. Look, you have given me such a beauty. You are God, you are God. So when this teacher was trying to say you are God and in fact wanted to do namaskaram to him, Murari started jumping. How can you say God? Oh, Swami, have you something gone wrong with your what? I cannot be God. I am a Murari, I am an ordinary person. You are a Swami. How can you say me God? I am not God. I am not God. Please, please, please. In fact, Murari ran away. Did not take even that broken mirror. Forget. Now, this person was watching. After that, when he was about to say, let us have discussion, That time the master said, look, Murari did not have to waste 12 years to understand that I am not God. So that means I am not God is Swayam Siddha. It is already established, accepted. So if it is already established, accepted, so in order to know what is already established, is it really necessary to know? Every one of us knows. Why to waste time? That's why the scripture job is not Shastra. So scripture means every religion has got their scripture, okay? That's the problem. The Shastra job is not to talk what is already established. Shastra being Pramana. But the job of the Shastra is to teach you what is not established. That's why here he highlights very nicely that Akhanda Bhavaha is being highlighted. Mahavakya Satena. Hundreds of statements called great statements in different scriptures, different Vedas. In fact, we had seen already Kathopanishad. In Kathopanishad we have seen few times Mahavakyas in a verse. Mundaka Upanishad also we have seen. So in every Upanishad, you will come across this Mahavakya. Because that is what the job of the scripture. Not to re-establish, not to reconfirm what already you know. That becomes dosha. That becomes entertainment. Just to gather the people. You understand? Gather the audience. Gather the followers. So here he says, look, now what one should do? He says, Salakhyam chinmatrataya sadatmanaha akhanda bhava parichiyate buddhaihi. A Buddha. So Buddha means not Buddha, okay? Buddha means what? There is a difference. B-U-D-H-A, B-U-D-D-H-A, okay? You have to be very careful. Buddha, Buddha. So okay. So Buddha means the wise person. So can you see how they change everything? Okay? They took this, no? Siddhartha becomes Gautam Buddha. You should see the, how they change everything nicely. However, so what this wise person do? So wise person is supposed to look at, what should look at? Very carefully to arrive at this Akhanda Bhava, the identity between what? Sadatmanaha. That means this individual and the total, Jiva and Ishvara. As what? Chinmatrataya. This is the point. As the pure means awareness. So how is it? Let us look at this point. So what is this awareness, consciousness? So this also we need to really look at very carefully. I am aware of this specs. And in whose presence or because of whose presence I am aware of this specs. I am aware of the pain. What is the principle and whose presence this I am aware of this pain? That principle is called awareness in short. And that awareness only is one. That's why the Brahman is called awareness. That awareness is consciousness. That awareness again is what? Not only conscious, Satchit Ananda, happiness. Happiness means fullness. Because that which is complete, full, that is happy. When are you happy? When you are full. Unless you are fullness, you cannot be happy either. We say, especially after food, truptoham. When the food is up to the neck, you understand? Sometimes it will come out, okay? Not even if little bit enter. Then what you say? Sometimes we do, okay? We put some water on our stomach, okay? Wow! Vata pi jinna bhava. You understand? This is the concept, nothing else. So that next time we should be ready, okay? Or else it's very painful. Nowadays this happens. No, you finish lunch again after the 4 o'clock you are ready for the snacks. So snacks is completed, again dinner you are ready. But nowadays if you complete lunch, dinner is gone. You don't feel like eating. This is the, because this poor atapi is not getting digested, okay? Coming to the point. So when there is a fullness, the completeness makes you happy. So in your life, that time you are miserable, unhappy. When and where you see some vacuum in you, incompleteness in you, with reference to anything and everything. And interestingly, the Brahman, the Atma, the essence of me, is the awareness, the consciousness, the fullness. That's why to become happy, I don't have to do anything. To become aware, the awareness, to be part of, to be with the awareness, I don't have to do anything. And that awareness is me. That awareness is Brahman. In fact, that awareness is only one. That oneness is called awareness. There cannot be two. And this awareness or consciousness, when is endowed with Maya, so Maya is nothing, 3 gunas, Sattva, Raja, Tama, mainly Sattva predominant, which we have seen in details in Panchadashi first chapter. So with Maya, this, you can say Brahman or awareness makes no difference, or Atman, no problem, both are one and same. Contextually we use differently. That becomes Ishvara, the God. Whereas the awareness plus, not Maya, but more predominantly what is 3 gunas, where Tamas is more predominant, Rajas secondary, Sattva a little bit. That too grossified, which in the form of Panchakosha. And of course, Tanmatras, through that, all the subtle body, Sukshma Sarira, and of course, this causal body, Karana Sariram, that becomes individual, me. So is it clear? So that is what is to be very clearly understood. Or else, what is the Swamiji, awareness, consciousness, awareness, consciousness, all the time you are telling, but I don't understand. God is God, me is me. So finally you will not end up after studying 12 years, Swamiji, everything is good, let us have Vada Viksha. I am different from God, okay? Then I have to call Murari and remove my beard, okay? And hair, and say, hey look! However, so the whole scripture or the purpose of the scripture is to highlight, to communicate only one thing, that Brahma and Atma Jiva and Paramatma are one and same. Other than this, the scripture does not talk anything. All other are secondary. Even if we say you go to heaven, why you should go to heaven? To enjoy. After enjoying, you should see the limitations. So once you see limitation, what will do? You will become curious. Again, you will start asking questions. Can you see this point? So the whole purpose of the teaching is to make sure that I am none other than the totality. But it's not that easy, whatever you are talking. Then how to arrive at? That's why it says, look, for that, this nididhyasanam is to be done. So this contemplation, what we call as a Vedantic meditation, is to be continued. Sparing some time for oneself every day is must. Learning to close the eyes consciously is must. Because how long can we run behind the mind? When we are awake, most of the time we are running behind the mind. Have you not observed this? It is exactly you go for a walk taking your dog with you because you felt lonely, so why not let me take a dog? Okay, first you feel, there's a very interesting story with this, I'll stop. You feel very lonely and especially nobody listens to you. Wife doesn't listen to you, husband does not listen to you, children forget, and if you don't have children, another issue. Nobody listens to you. What to do? So you need a pet called dog because very loyal. So you keep a dog. So the dog listens to you. When you come, so you very enjoy it, okay? Really you enjoy. It's very nice actually. When you feel, wow, there is somebody for you, okay? Cares for you, looks at you. So now you kept the dog. Who will listen to you? Fantastic. So once in a while you have to take that fellow around, okay? That's another problem. If you don't take out, that's so, not only will make a mess, also will create another, all the time will bark. So that fellow needs some, out. So people, especially men or women, both way, men especially, they will not take their wife out, but they will take their dog to go out. At least if the amount of time you spend with the dog, same amount of time if you spend wife will be much better, loyal than the dog. I am not telling you jokes. It's a very simple trick to be followed. I don't know how these men do not understand this. Okay, I will tell this joke and another joke about men and women, okay? I am in a joke mode. So now what happens? You take the dog to go out. So first when you go out, you will go front, dog will follow you. That's very good sight. Later on what happens? Do you follow does the dog follow you or do you follow the dog? Always dog will be the front. Poor fellow, you will be dragged. Have you not observed? And the worst thing is you have to carry some plastic bags in your pocket, okay? In a wrong way you have to put your hand, and if the dog does sit, so you have to collect it and carry it back, okay? If small thing if you do for your wife, I am not telling you, or if a lady, if the same thing you do for your husband, both way, great relationship will continue. No, you understand the ego, stupidity? However, so we all are running behind the mind, especially when our eyes are open in waking state. How long can you run behind your mind? Let the mind run behind you. So in order to see this transition or make this thing to happen, learn to close your eyes consciously. Apply the brake for the mind. So once you start applying the brake for the mind, try to see how mind is moving faster and wants to go along with it. And slowly you will discover mind will slow down. Okay, in the process of slowing down, you will slip up. That is what happens, okay? That is the first thing happens. Mind is very clever. No problem. It is good, healthier, don't worry. Instead of hitting the bed and sleeping, sitting and sleeping is better, please. Please make sure that let the mind follow you. So, few verses we'll see regarding this. More of it we'll see tomorrow. Let's close your eyes. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnahat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.